TVS Motor Company is today one of India's largest two-wheeler manufacturers. In fact, it is the third largest two-wheeler manufacturer in the country and fourth largest globally by volume. The company has a market cap of 16 billion US dollars, present in over 80 countries. They are the leading EV player by market share. Joining us right now to speak about the company's global strategy at their headquarters here in Singapore is the company's Managing Director, Sudarshan Venu. Sudarshan Venu, thank you so much for joining us here at your Singapore office. Things have been good as far as EV sales and overall push towards premiumization and export growth is concerned. You've now spent 12 years with the company, 3 years as Managing Director. What would be your biggest achievements or milestones as you would like to list it out for us?
I think it's a collective achievement, Parikshit. It's really the vision and values that my father has started TVS Motors with a huge focus on quality, customer satisfaction and product and technology. And that is the basis on which we have grown, and that is the basis on which we have to continue to grow and do exciting things in the future. I think there's a very passionate team who are excited about the future. And as we have said in our LRP, and to transform the quality of life of our customers. So that is really the focus.
I would like to speak about your international strategy, and I think Norton fits into that very well. You're coming up with the Norton India launch very soon. Could you give us a sense of when is that expected, and what are we really expecting in terms of those big bikes which are coming into India?
Norton will launch towards the end of this year and will start phasing in the products towards the end of this year and early next year. I think I've mentioned 6 products before, 4 of which will be available for the summer of 2026 in the 4 European markets of UK, plus France, Germany, Italy, and Spain, as also, of course, in India. So this is where I think we are heading towards by starting off with the launch of the 4-cylinder superbike at EICMA, and then we will also share the remaining 3 products soon at EICMA or soon after, which will be available in the market early 2026. They are all in advanced stages of development. I think we have a good leadership team now at Norton with the 2 executive directors, Arnie and Neviho. Supporting them are very good designers, engineers, and a lot of homegrown talent from TVS in India, which I think brings a great mix in terms of the Britishness and the uniqueness of Norton, while leveraging the capabilities of TVS and also offering opportunities for our talent to grow.
Right. So there's a lot of competition in the premium space in India as well, in the 350 to 500cc space. And 650 is a space which Royal Enfield has been leading. Could you give us a sense of where your bikes would be playing, in which segment, and how many bikes will the Indian consumer be able to reach out to in India?
I think we will start, as I said, with the 1200cc superbike. We will have other smaller offerings as well, but we will draw a line on how we ensure we keep Norton Premium, keep it in the luxury space, and offer bikes that are uniquely differentiated and uniquely Norton in terms of the 3 values which we have articulated, which is design, dynamism, and detail.
Right. And what will be like the retail strategy for it in India and
We'll
globally?
definitely have a differentiated retail strategy in India, covering Norton and covering possibly some of the premium TVS vehicles as well. As I said, this will help us connect with the growing middle class of India and upper middle class and people with more affluence, and with Norton's even some of the top end segments who buy sports cars and other vehicles who also buy these very high end bikes. We will connect with different retail formats that are uniquely catered to them and offer them that superior and differentiated experience.
So there'll be like more experience centers, more showrooms, specific
Definitely.
showrooms for...
Absolutely.
How many are you targeting for India?
We'll share more soon, but I think definitely we will cover in the first phase the big cities, and then after that move on to other cities, and we definitely intend to offer the entire Norton range in India.
Okay, and initially the sales would be only in India and UK, or are you targeting...
As I said, it is India, UK, and the 4 large European markets initially.
Okay, and are these going to be manufactured here in India, or they're going to be exported in the first phase?
There is manufacturing in the UK, and there is going to be manufacturing in India as well. Some of the models will be made with greater value-added content in India, and some with greater value-added content locally.
Right. So what's been your...
And I think this India-UK FTA also helps both ways in terms of ensuring that components and kits and things from our side can go to UK and sub-assemblies, but also ensuring that the fully built vehicles can come into India.
So you can take benefit of the lower tariff regime.
Definitely, and I really applaud that it has happened It's good for many sectors of the economy.
Yeah.
It's good for us as well.
Okay, could you give us a ballpark figure on how much you are putting behind launching the Norton in India and in global markets, both in terms of R&D, manufacturing, and the marketing plan?
I think a really luxury differentiated brand has to be built the right way. So that is really a focus for us. We will start with a capacity of close to 10,000 vehicles and with the 4 models going up to 6 models. So I think really the focus is on ensuring that the brand philosophy is delivered, the vehicles that live up to it, the retail and communication which clearly shows the brand experience and delights customers and resonates with them. So that is really the focus in the first phase, Parikshit.
Right. So Norton, of course, is a big focus area for you, and it's been an interesting ride so far since you acquired the company. As we stay with your international focus, your partnership with BMW, it's been holding strong. Both companies have also developed an EV together. Where is the partnership currently, and how do you plan to expand on it?
I think we did first the single cylinder, the 310 family, then came the EV, and now is the 2-cylinder family, which BMW has shown their version at last year's EICMA. And you will see Norton and TVS versions using similar platform in the coming months.
Okay.
So that is where I think the relationship is headed.
Right. Speaking about electric vehicles, 25% market share in the month of May. That's what we pick up. You were the leading player, and you have been the leading player for several months now. The competition is stiff, but you're steadily growing the market. What's going to be the strategy from here on in terms of building your EV portfolio?
We are committed to building all segments in EV that we believe make sense. And so we have the TVS iQube, which of course has done well. We have now started retail of the TVS X, which is sort of a flagship scooter, which shows the capabilities of what we can do in terms of technology and materials and really creating a fantastic riding experience. And you're resonating with the young customers in terms of connectivity, in terms of use of advanced materials, in terms of design. We're also launching another electric scooter this year. And we've done the One Make Electric Racing Championship and also the electric 3-wheelers and electric bicycles as well.
Okay, so if we were to ask you how many electric products altogether in FY26?
I think in FY26 we'll look at a couple of new launches. One is, of course, X has already started retail. There is an improved iQube and one more new scooter.
One more new scooter coming up. How does the market look to you currently, and are you looking at increasing capacity? What is the monthly run rate that you're looking at?
I think we are increasing capacity and the volumes have grown. At the same time now there is this whole supply chain challenge in terms of China banning the export of rare earth, high rare earth HRE magnets, which are actually very important for our motors and other parts of the EVs. So this EV supply chain disruption is certainly going to pose a short to medium term challenge. And I think as India plans its EV strategy and EV plan, the adoption will have to be phased in or phased up, along with developing an Atmanirbhar supply chain in India, where India, as the world's leading 2-wheeler market, which has produced 3 of the top 5 companies by volume globally, has its own supply chain, its own R&D, its own capability, and EV is really built on that basis.
Right. How badly is the restriction by China on supply of rare earth magnets impacting TVS Motor Company right now in terms of production?
I think in the short term it will impact the entire industry a fair bit. As we go forward, we have to develop new solutions, develop new components, new suppliers, and really work our way through this.
So is it already... for the industry, is it already showing on the monthly numbers?
I think it will start showing soon.
It'll start showing soon?
Maybe in June, if not definitely in July.
No, some bodies have really sounded the alarm bells, saying that this could literally bring EV production to a grinding halt. Would you go to the extent of saying that
it is concerning? Yes, Parikshit, it is concerning.
It could bring it to a halt?
Yes.
How bad is it for the industry?
I mean, a halt is pretty bad, right?
A halt is very bad. And
it doesn't get that much worse with.
Yeah. So we could look at a complete
Yes, it is a significant challenge.
And how are you managing it at TVS?
Of course, like every company, we are trying to see how to de-risk, to import assemblies instead of importing the magnets alone. But again, there is a huge price impact which ultimately has to be borne by somebody. And then there'll be cost increases or other price increases to the customer. So all this has to be factored in, which is why I think it will be a short to medium term challenge that the industry needs to work its way out of.
Yeah.
On one hand, we are launching products, we are committed, we have invested a lot of capex. You have seen that we have done a lot of exciting launches and our volumes have also grown. This is definitely a challenge that as an industry and we have to work through, and over a period of time develop an ecosystem of components and R&D in India so that we bring volumes up in a way that is sustainable and in a way that's Atmanirbhar and made in India with Indian R&D, with Indian products and Indian technology and supply chain and natural resources all linked up.
Yeah. So you're expecting from June onwards it'll start showing in production figures, and there'll be very significant production cuts?
Yes, there'll be cuts.
Yeah. As an industry,
we'll all do our best to mitigate it, of course.
Exactly. But on an industry level, I know it's very difficult to give us a sense of what's happening at TVS. At an industry level, what could be the production cut or decline that you expect?
As some of the industry bodies like SIAM have said, and some others industry leaders have also said, it will be significant. It
will be significant.
And it will change from month to month, so we'll have to work our way through this over a period.
So the availability is a question, and the pricing will also go up, I'm guessing. Yeah. Very significant concerns there. The other issue on the PM eDrive scheme, we have been seeing the FAME scheme continuing since 2015, two versions of that. You've got the PM eDrive scheme. Now the scheme comes to an end next year. Are you ready for a zero subsidy scenario?
I think the government has done a lot to encourage EVs, and of course over a period of time these subsidies have to be phased down in every industry. So as it ends, then the industry will have to continue to develop new ways of reducing costs, new ways of being competitive. I think the supply chain issue is important, so that as we build out of this, you build a supply chain that's resilient.
That's what the government, of course, needs to do.
It's not just the government, the industry, the suppliers, the OEMs, everybody has to work together.
Right. Now speaking about...
Government has done a lot already.
Yeah.
This new challenge is there. We'll all have to face it, and I'm sure we'll overcome it as well.
Right. Have you been able to identify new suppliers around the world to de-risk your strategy?
Yes, that's going on as we speak, and we'll share more as the situation progresses.
Great. On the electric three-wheeler plan, recently we saw TVS Motor Company launching products in the cargo space, in the passenger space. How is that going, and how would you like to increase your market share, your monthly production when it comes to electric three-wheelers?
Electric three-wheeler of ours has been very well received. We are also launching a CNG three-wheeler for cargo and passenger applications during the course of this year. As you know, we've done better in three-wheelers outside India. Hopefully with these launches, we'll continue to grow abroad and in India as well.
Right. The partnership with Hyundai, we saw some future concepts developed by Hyundai and TVS, and we believe that TVS was mulling manufacturing and retailing those in India and global markets. How far have things progressed?
Things are progressing. I think the concept is a really cool concept, and we'll share more with you at the right time.
But are we expecting a launch this year, maybe?
We'll share more with you at the right
time. Okay. Let me speak to you more about the domestic market right now. We've seen your market share grow to 18 to 19% from 16 to 17%. What would be your ambition for FY26?
See, our ambition is always to launch exciting products to delight customers, and then market share is a resultant. So I would like to say that we are launching exciting products. We're focusing on enhancing the customer experience to continue our focus on the core TVS values of quality, customer satisfaction, innovation, and tech. And you'll see some exciting new products from us this year, including a premium scooter.
Right. Could you give us a sense of how many more products? Because as you have in the India market, you need to keep exciting the customer.
So I've said 3 two-wheelers, and then we have the CNG three-wheeler as well.
Welcome back. You're watching CNBC TV 18, and we are in exclusive conversation with Sudarshan Venu, Managing Director of TVS Motor Company at the company's headquarters here in Singapore. On the electric bicycle front, there was a period during COVID where you were literally on an acquisition spree with electric bicycles and electric bicycle companies. Are you planning to now expand that plan, get them to India? What would be the strategy going forward?
Rather than Spree, I think we bought a couple because the rest of them were reported as an acquisition, but they were really shops or some technology that we had bought. Now we have integrated everything. I think there is a bit of a supply glut in Europe on electric bicycles in the past couple of years, which has impacted the industry and us as well. We have developed new products now, which means that the greater portion of our sales from our new products which we are developing is increasing. We are also developing specifically for India with a dynamic young team a new e-bike, which we will launch in India because the European cost point is of course quite different. So together with this, we have consolidated our presence in Europe. We will expand further with the new products. We will launch in India. And as in India, adoption will start as well, more for leisure. And in Europe, I think both for mobility and for a bit of leisure, as the industry comes out of it, we will aim to break even and start getting returns.
Okay, e-bike launch in India when?
This year.
This year itself, okay. Speak to you about the domestic sentiment once again. Between rural and urban, how does the sentiment look and what would be the ratio of growth that one can expect?
I think the sentiment is similar because today you see cities are also expanding. Of course, with a good monsoon, rural sentiment can be better than in going forward. So I think also you see now many cities are expanding quite a bit, and this sort of mega city is also creating new demand on the periphery. What may have been rural area is actually part of a sort of mega city. So this whole urbanization is blurring the lines. And I also think with digital communication and things, the customer patterns of behavior are beginning to be more similar to each other.
Right. So when there are challenges, of course, at home, and because of
recent times, urban growth has been a bit better. But of course, with the monsoon, we'll know how it is going to play out in rural areas as well.
Would you say that having a diversified strategy, especially for your exports also, is going to be important? What kind of export growth are you targeting? And how many more countries would you like to reach out to?
We are in many countries already. And we, of course, as there are opportunities in industrialized countries, we will look at entering new markets as well. And also new segments within those markets or new ways of doing things in some of those markets. In terms of Africa, I think Africa has bottomed out and is turning around and now starting to look up. So definitely exports growth for us in the last few months, as you have seen, has already started moving up. And I think this will continue this year.
Right. How much do exports contribute as far as your total revenue is concerned, and where do you plan to take it by 2030?
Exports today are close to, I would say, international business, because it's a question of now in some of the countries we are assembling, in some countries we will manufacture. Future regulation may require more manufacturing in these countries. There'll be more products aimed at these markets. There are people operating or focusing on these markets, some of them in location. So I would say the international business is about 30% of our revenue, and I think it can be 40% or more by 2030.
Right. Speaking about TVS Credit, I believe that takes away a lot of your time as well. You've added 14 lakh new customers. Your book size is 26,647 crores. What is the kind of growth you're targeting with in FY26 with TVS Credit?
I think, yes, TVS Credit has taken time. We've invested significantly as a group in financial services and lending. We'll also look at other opportunities as we progress. On the lending side, I think we have a good customer base. We have increased that customer base through home credit. Combined, the loans is about 30 to 33,000 crores. I think we will definitely look to grow that this year. 55% of our customers are new to credit. So it's very interesting opportunity to bring them into organized credit and also grow with them as their needs grow and their demands grow and they want more products and more services. So that is something which we look forward as India's financial penetration increases in the next 10, 15 years to ride with them. In that context, we are launching gold loans. We are launching, of course, three-wheeler loans, and we will also look at LAP this year. It's over 1,000 crores of PBT last year for the group, and is definitely something we are looking to grow. Last year, credit growth was a bit muted because we had kept credit tight, and I think in some parts of urban India there was a bit of over leverage across the system, as you know. As we believe, so we tighten credit. I think as growth is there and momentum comes, we will definitely look at growing the credit book by 15+% this year.
Sudarshan, about TVS Holding, could you give us a sense of the companies under the TVS Holding group right now?
TVS Holdings today owns, of course, the shares of TVS Motors and also directly owns Home Credit. Lending, as you know, in addition to the 2 and 3-wheeler business is an important focus area for the group. So we are continuing to invest and grow in both these areas. And we could possibly consider an adjacency like insurance.
Okay. I would also like to ask you about the succession plan with aligned ownership that was approved by the TVS Holding Group. As a result, we've seen reports which say that Sudarshan Venu and your father are significant beneficial owners. What does this mean for the growth of TVS as a company and also your role going forward?
I'm very grateful to my father for the succession planning and for the responsibility and opportunity. I'm also truly grateful and for his continuous advice and guidance, which I really value and cherish. So it's really special. I think these declarations are there, and the group continues to focus on the core values and the sectors that we are in and how to grow.
And this was important not just for you, Sudarshan, but for your entire family as well. I think that do you believe that that entire plan has now been executed in a very successful manner?
I'm just very thankful for the way things are, and it's always good to have clarity and focus on the future and how to really do something that benefits customers, employees, shareholders, and the whole community at large.
Give us a sense of what's driving you, in terms of growing your business in the next few years. Some of probably the learnings from your father, some of your own instincts. What do you want to bring to the table in terms of growing the brand over the next 10 to 15 years?
I think of course, the learning from my father is most important, and I'm really thankful, and I continue to learn from him every day. I'm also thankful to our chairman, Sir Ralph, for all the energy and passion and tech that I've got from him and been inspired by him. I think we are in a unique moment in India where Indian companies are really growing global, particularly in our sector. And secondly, where we have huge amount of growth in India as well, which we are capitalizing on, of course, in 2-wheelers and 3-wheelers, but also in automotives and financial services. So I think we have that opportunity. And also with a large 2-wheeler market, you see particularly Bajaj and us going global. This is a unique and now they've done a great move of buying KTM as well, which they had worked on earlier and done successfully and now taken control. So I think it's a great opportunity for Indian companies to really go global. And in our sector, if we can do that, and also as a group capitalize on opportunities like lending within India and scale those, I think it's a very exciting time over the next 5-10 years, as you mentioned, or more. And so to leverage the TVS focus on customers, quality and technology and make a difference in these chosen sectors would be amazing.
Right. In terms of the total growth that you are expecting in FY26, how much would that be, Sudarshan, considering the current challenges?
I think we are looking at double-digit growth, both in revenue and volume terms. So that's our goal.
All right. Thanks.
And of course, to grow faster than the industry.
Going faster than the industry. Okay, Sudarshan, let's have some rapid-fire questions with you. Let's begin by asking you about your favorite motorcycle.
The new Norton Superbike, which is coming soon, Parikshit.
Okay. Motorcycle, which is not from the TVS Motor Company Group.
BMW, KTM, and of course, Ducati.
All right. What do you do in your personal time? What's your go-to thing?
Just hang out a bit with my family and friends.
Okay. Favorite riding spot around the world?
The Alps in the German side.
Okay. Favorite book?
During COVID, I read some excellent books which Professor Ramcharan suggested, including Ride of a Lifetime, some of the Jim Collins books. I really enjoyed those.
Okay. Favorite food item?
Dosa.
Okay. Favorite businessman?
My father.
All right. One value you really live by and you look for when you're hiring somebody?
I think hiring people is more than just one simple thing. And I think people have so many attributes, and TVS has its own values and culture. So it's important to understand the fit, the capabilities they bring, and of course the opportunity we can give. So I see it as an important decision both for us and for the individual. So it's difficult to simplify in one word.
All right. Thanks very much, Sudarshan, for talking to us,
Parikshit.
taking out time for us here in Singapore. That brings us to the end of this special interview with the Managing Director of TVS Motor Company, Sudarshan Venu. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.